Good. Hey, everybody. Craig Howard here, Road Royalty. And I'm here with Jamie Lee, who is the CEO of Progressive Programming, PRs All Day. And he is the kind of co sponsor or co partner or partner for Road Royalty 2024. Jamie's been responsible for the programming for Road Royalty, well, almost since, I think, since the inception.
Yeah, since the in-house comp.
Since the in-house comp back in 2012. And that's where we get our start with Road Royalty is we started in a CrossFit gym, Diablo CrossFit. And it was really, Road Royalty was created to provide bragging rights for the best rowers in the gym. And that's really all it was. It was people bragging that they were better on the rower than other people. So we set up a competition that I think was about 2 events, a distance event and then a short sprint event. And it was a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Back then, at that time, 2012, we had 60 members participate in that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy when you think about, the number of people we have now, but also
the early beginnings.
But even for a CrossFit gym back in 2012, 60 people doing it is a lot of people. And it was a lot of fun. And here's what we did differently. And this is what makes the Road Royalty competition unique, different, and special, to be honest with you, and encourages more people to participate, is that we have our categories, instead of being by weight, as is done traditionally with rowing, we do it by height, because we found that height is the biggest determinant of performance, biggest predictor of performance for the Concept 2 erg, is how tall someone is. And so we created height categories for Road Royalty. We changed them slightly, but we've settled on, over the last 10 years, the following heights. And we call it tall and standard. We use standard because we don't want to offend people that aren't tall. So standard height is women under 5'6". So a standard woman's under 5'6", or 168 centimeters if you're outside the United States. And then tall women are 5'6" and above, 168 centimeters and above. And then for the men, it's if you're under 5'11", or 180 centimeters. If you're under 180 centimeters, you are in the standard category. And then if you're 5'11" or above, you're in the tall category.
So if you're 5'10" and a half, which category would you fall under?
And we do get that question. As we've learned over the years, we get questions about everything, and you round up. You round up is what we encourage people to do. We have had to do height verification, and it's where we ask people to send in a videotape of them being measured, because a picture can be doctored. I don't think that there's any purposeful altering of the standards, though. When you see the results come in and then you question people for why they did what they did, there's always going to be, just like on the internet, you get 1,000 angry. There's always in any group, there's always 1,000 angry people. With a competition like this, there's going to be a handful of people that want to mess with the standards to try and improve their own personal performances. But what's the beauty of running this competition is that it's on a Concept 2 erg. The monitor is the same for everybody. It's very difficult. It would be very difficult to doctor your monitor. Concept 2 has offered us the opportunity to inspect monitors if needed for determining prizes and awards and placements. They will actually, link in and check the monitor to make sure everything's legit on the monitor if we need it. We've never had to do that. What we have had people do, though, is produce replicate a workout on video. So in other words, they turn in an amazing performance on a workout, and then we ask them to produce a video of a similar performance. Now, if the workout is 1 year we did a half marathon row, which didn't make us a lot of fans within the rowing community, online rowing community. But afterward, everybody said it was awesome. And if it's something like that, we wouldn't make them re-row another half marathon, but we would make them do something in a shorter distance that would give us an indication as to whether or not they could sustain that type of performance. And it's not hard to do. And we've only had to do that a couple of times. And in both cases, the the video was overwhelmingly obvious that they were capable of the performance that they put in. And one of the unique things about this competition is that it will attract, we do attract people that are outside the rowing community, CrossFitters who are good at rowing, and they'll sometimes surprise the people within the rowing community. What's really cool about the rowing community is that they all know each other, especially the indoor rowing community. They all know who the top performers are because they're all going to the same sites. They're logging their performances on Concept 2, especially if it's world record performances. So the names are known. And so, we oftentimes I'd get an email from someone, hey, never seen this guy. Who the hell turned in this, 2K time? That's just not, we've never seen that. And typically it's some renegade.
Once you start looking into it, you find out this
Yeah.
person
Yes.
coaches at a CrossFit gym or something.
Works at a CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
The only experience on a rower has been CrossFitting, but they're naturals at it, and they were able to, metabolically they could perform at that level, and we're able to turn out an amazing performance. We do have those, so it's kind of cool to mix the CrossFit community and the rowing community. I think one of the things that surprised me with this competition after doing it this many years is how it went from this really started in our gym as an in-house gym, and then we put it online, I think in 2014.
I think that was 14. Yeah.
14 is the first year we went online.
That's good.
And
Good point.
and what was amazing to me is how many people within the rowing community found it and started to participate. That's really cool. And the rowing community is a passionate group of people that are quick to point out when we're not doing the best service to that community and to give us insight or advice on how to do it better. And we have taken, we do take all of it. Sometimes we'll bitch about, being called out on stuff, but for the most part, we take every piece of information we get from the community, especially the rowing community, and put it into, producing a better competition. But when you write these workouts, Jamie, how are you thinking about these workouts with respect to creating the king and queen of the rower?
Well, over the years, we've gone, like you said, we've gotten a lot of feedback. So we make a lot of adjustments, and in that we've, gone super long, we've gone super short. And coming from a CrossFit gym, which is where this competition was born, we have the methodology of constantly varied. So we like to vary up the distances and the formats for each event. In past years, we've always had some form of a multi-scored event where, maybe you're scoring the total time along with maybe one specific interval. And over the years, we found, this is a super fun way to strategize. As far as execution, can be a little bit difficult as far as loading it properly in there so we get a correct score on the back end. So when somebody submits that score, so, with that feedback, we've taken that feedback, and that's kind of going to lead us a little bit into some changes that we're going to see this coming year.
Before we talk about those, one of the things this competition, I think it's important for people to know too, it is modeled after the largest online fitness competition in the world, the CrossFit Games Open, which is a cool format. You put out one workout a week for anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks, and then give people, we release them on a Wednesday. In the past, we've released it on a Wednesday or Thursday, and then you give them until Monday afternoon to submit the scores. Very similar to the Open, which makes it fun. And it gives people the opportunity to redo the workouts, the longer ones they may not. But it also can include a lot more. It's very inclusive because there's some people that work during the week, they can't do it. So it gives them the weekend to do it. And then there's some anticipation and the thrill of seeing what the workout is and how it compares to the past workouts. We also have done repeat workouts from year to year. Sometimes there's a repeat. And in all, what we're trying to do is trying to determine the best person, not necessarily the best rower, but the best person, the best rower on a Concept 2 erg. And based upon a number of factors. One, obviously shorter distance sprints, and then 2, the longer distance rows, and then 3, their ability to strategize and perform at their best with varying components. In other words, just to give an example, one of my favorite ones, but also one of my brutal ones is rowing a 200 meters.
The 10 by 200.
Yeah, 10 by 200 with a 1 minute rest in between. And it's just absolutely on your legs, just absolutely brutal. and you start out just thinking this is going to be awesome. Then
Yeah.
you get 4 or 5 in, you're
Once
like,
you feel
holy
fresh in
smoke.
the beginning.
And the person that the experienced rower knows this about that particular event, and then they budget themselves appropriately so they deliver the best performance. And then you add in, just to make sure you're trying to catch everybody, you give the scoring opportunities as your slowest and your fastest, and maybe your overall time.
Yeah.
So we get a good marker as to how, not only how fit someone is, what their stamina is, muscle stamina is, but also then how good do they strategize? They just blow up. They go hard on all 9, and then
take a hit on the final.
Take a hit on the final.
Yeah.
Or or did they just sandbag in the beginning, because that could penalize you with a with a lower score. So it's really fun to play around with that as an event organizer, though we respect that we try not to get too overly creative.
Yeah.
We have in the past.
Yep.
And it's pissed people off. But again, we're trying to create an opportunity, or to create the opportunity for us to figure out who the best rower is on an erg in all domains, who can strategize best, who has the most experience in terms of training on the erg, and then also making the workouts fun to do and creative. And so you try to get people to want to do it and to bring new people in. Really what kind of turns us on is seeing new people come into this event. People that are new to the Concept 2 and doing that event and having fun doing it. We love seeing the Olympic medalists come in and row in this event and just smash these numbers.
Yeah.
Sometimes just mind-blowing results, because that gives us kind of an inside peek into what the human potential is.
Yeah.
But it's fun to be able to recruit and bring people in. Here's the other thing that I like about these workouts that you've done is you give people because when you got a Concept 2 in your garage and you row, and you train on a Concept 2, people tend to gravitate towards the stuff that they know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to row a 5K today. Okay, I'm going to row a 2K today. Okay, I'm going to do intervals. And that usually is probably about 4 or 5 things for most people. And I bet actually for 70% of people, it's probably 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, not super varied.
Not super varied. And what Road Royalty has done is gotten people to think a little bit outside the box in terms of how to create workouts to make that Concept 2 a little bit more interesting and a lot more fun for training. Program in these workouts, and you can go back on our website, roadroyalty.com, and check all the old workouts. And there's some really freaking cool workouts on there.
Yeah.
In all time domains. So I appreciate the work that you've done there. This year, though, we're going to do it a little bit different. Let's talk about 2024, because I think that's interesting for us.
Well, this kind of comes back down to the fact that we are taking in the feedback and making adjustments, so that way we can continue to make this a better, more fun competition. At the same time, making it easier to participate.
Okay. So we're shortening it this year in kind of in line with what CrossFit Games did with the Open. We're going to make it 3 weeks. Now we're doing it by the way, we're doing it in July.
June.
June. We're doing it in June this year. Don't
June 5th.
Maybe I can cut that out.
Is the first workout.
Yeah. First workout's released June 5th. Results are due by the 10th.
Which is the end of registration.
So it's released on a Wednesday, and then it's due on Monday. So you get 5 solid days to do this workouts. But this year we're doing 3 weeks instead of 4 and 5 weeks that we've done in the past, modeling the CrossFit model, but also kind of in response to some feedback we got from rowers that this is regatta season. So a lot of rowers are out, and some coaches have told rowers, no online competitions. No online challenges, because they
stay focused for that season.
Yeah, they want them to stay focused for that season and not blow up trying to win some, random Road Royalty competition online. But you and I talked about it before we get into the workout format. You and I talked about it. We are likely in 2024 to move this competition after this one, move it to the end of the year, so that we have and that's where we will kind of plant our flag in the rowing season. We moved it. We couldn't do it in February just because the CrossFit competition season is overwhelming for us.
It's gotten to the point where it's one or the other. And to do both of them justice, it's good to kind of separate the two.
Yeah, I think it's important to disclose right now that Road Royalty is not a whole team of people dedicated to the online rowing competition. This is 2 to 3 people
beyond skeleton staff.
This competition is 2 to 3 people doing all of the content creation, the promotion of it, managing answering the emails. And I don't necessarily know that I want to make it bigger than that or grow it beyond that. I enjoy it for what it is. It's a really fun online competition. We get 10,000 people rowing in it. Yeah. Okay. Then maybe we'll bring on board some full-time staff. But in the meantime, it's seasonal staff that we bring in to help us run and orchestrate this event, put the workouts out, and then follow up with people afterward. Or, being more athletically inclined, we're not necessarily the most diligent there, but we do our best to get every email answered, get every situation taken care of, and making sure that scores, but most importantly, making sure that scores are correct and audited, and then monetary prizes are distributed. Let's talk about how we're going to do the workouts, because that's I think one of the things you said, we listen to feedback, and one of the feedbacks was that be a little bit more traditional and less
complex.
Yes, less complex, less CrossFit-y.
And when we think of the complexity of what some of the previous events looked like, it required a lot of programming into the monitor,
right?
And when we think of like those emails that we get where somebody's, frustrated with the fact that their score didn't represent what they thought they did. And a lot of that comes back down to, I hate to say it, but user error as far as inputting the workout.
It's easy to do.
It's super easy to do.
It's easy to screw it up. I've done it before, and you program it and then you do the workout, and afterwards you're like, crap.
Yeah. And that's the downside of us trying to be super creative to make the variance fun. Right.
Yes.
As far as the workouts goes, because then you have to input the workouts properly to get that particular intended stimulus.
Yeah.
So this year, what we're doing is we've not only shortened down to the 3 weeks, but we're also going to be doing 2 separate workouts in the week. So week 1, you've got an A and B. Now, A is going to consist of a timed workout. So here's a set distance. What is your time? That's going to be our timed event. Then we got a distance. So here's a set time, or how much distance can be completed. Now, that is going to have some variance to it. So there will be some interval setup, but it's going to be very straightforward in comparison to the past, where we've had multiple different intervals, variable start times. So we're trying to streamline this. That way it's a much smoother process. You can do the workout one time and get the right score versus setting it up and then realizing on the back end that maybe you need to re-input the workout and then repeat it again.
One of the things that I told Jamie Lee is I eventually want to get to a point where it's very, very difficult for Road Royalty participants to redo the workout.
Yeah.
And that really kind of speaks to purity of competition. If you look at the Crash Bees or the World Rowing competitions, most of them are on site and in person.
Yeah.
You get one shot.
Yeah.
There is, though, the added benefit, and why PRs happen at those events is because you got other people around you going.
Pressure's high,
right? And you're just when you've got someone in your sides that you can see going, man, it just kind of amps it up just a little bit more,
especially if it's hooked up to the monitor.
Then it's hooked up to the monitor, right? So we want to, as much as possible, arrive at that place without doing an in-person competition. So one of the ways to do that is to shorten the window in which you can do it, which is difficult for people that have competing schedules, work and business owners and everything else, international competitors as well. They can't necessarily fit it into the windows that if we shorten the window too much. But the other way we can do it is having multiple workouts, which is what CrossFit tries to do.
Yeah,
they'll give you multiple workouts so that you pretty much, it would be dangerous for you to redo one.
Yeah,
because if you redo it, then you've taxed yourself, and now the other workout that you want to do,
they could impact each other.
Right. You will always have the opportunity to kind of restart And I've done that before where I start, I get 2 minutes in and I'm not feeling right, or something's off on the rower, or it doesn't look
Got to
right.
change your music.
You got to change my music. You always have that opportunity, right? Unless we did a pure online head-to-head competition, which would be just fraught with tremendous technical difficulties. I think this is the better way to do it, is to have multiple workouts in that time period. So it discourages the repeat performance. We want to test people as they are, but you get on the rower, you go, that's who you are.
Yeah.
And so repeat. So each week there's two. There's one in the time domain, and then there's one in the distance domain.
Yep.
Right. 4 time.
Yep.
Got it.
And we're going to see maybe some of those, standardized events or distances that you would see in the traditional online rowing, but you'll probably also see some others.
Yeah, that's cool. And the traditional rowers will like that. And that, that's the other thing too, is that, one of the things we've been accused of is being, our time domains are too short.
Yeah.
I get these messages, can't wait for, the longer distance, can't wait for the long distance.
And then the half marathon shows.
By the way, meanwhile, we're CrossFitters and I'm thinking, wait a minute, anything over 10 minutes is a long distance, but we know what you mean.
Yeah,
we've talked to quite a few rowers, and we have a lot of input from the community. The other thing is that the only people that will know what the workouts are the 2 people that are on this YouTube screen right now. And we keep it that way until the workout's released. Last year we had an issue with workout being released. We published the video, the explanation video to the workout, but we listed it as unlisted and not as private.
Got it.
And if you hunt and search an unlisted, you can find unlisted videos.
Yeah.
Which is really frustrating. And believe me, if anybody's uploaded and published a YouTube video, it's really easy to make that mistake.
Yeah. CrossFit's made that mistake a few times.
Yeah, they have. We do have age groups. We have 3 age groups. People have said we need more, but we just don't have enough competitors to have more. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Tell your friends, then we'll make some more.
Yeah.
Get more people in.
This needs to get over 10,000 participants before we add more age groups.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's just not enough competitors, and it's just kind of dumb. It's like you and 4 other people that you probably already rode against multiple times.
Yeah.
So our age groups are 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and 60 plus. And then again, remember, we have the tall and standard in each of those age.
And that would be considered the open.
The other thing we do that's kind of cool too, and I actually like this, and it's pretty popular, is our team division.
Yes, that's a super fun one.
And it's everybody that's registered. Just a heads up, if you're registering for a team, all of your team members must register as individuals. So they all have to go in and pay the $20. Only one person needs to register the team, and ideally make that the team captain. And that's another $20. And if anybody's bitching about the price of this competition, send me an email to
which is that
to
email?
gtfo@royalroadroyalty.com. It has been $20 for this competition
since the beginning. And
I can tell you right now, if we're over break even, my wife's happy. And we can do it again the next year. This is not that type of competition. This is really kind of a give back to the rowing community. We are not making a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Could we? I suppose there's a way to do it. I've got 100 emails from over the last 12 years of rowers telling me the ways I can get rich doing this. I'm not necessarily into that. I'm interested in creating better competition that people want to be a part of. And yes, if it grows and makes money, that's awesome. But what I would like to do is increase the prize pool.
Yeah.
And this is another kind of objective of Road Royalty. It's to create an event that allows rowers to earn a little bit of money, prize money for what they do. There's few, if any, competitions for rowers that offer prize money.
Yeah.
And this is one that does.
Especially one that you can do in your garage.
Yeah.
You got a concept two rower, you can do it.
We need to get over for prize money competition, though. I'd really like to get over 500 participants. And we've been as high as the most we've had is almost 2,000 participants. And last year, I think we were just over 1,000 last year. But because we've changed the date in kind of late, that's going to affect our participation. But let's see if we can't get over 500, and then we can do some halfway decent prizes for the top, for the king and queen. Anything else you want to add to this?
No, just let's get ready to have some fun. And, like Craig said, you got we're going to have 2 workouts. So repeating, if you are to repeat, choose wisely.
Yeah. So the first workout's going to be released on June 5th. You need to register for the competition by June 10th, and don't wait till the last minute. We use a good company. I like this company, Strongest Compete. Strongest Compete is who we run our competition through. You can go to roadroyalty.com. There's a link to Strongest. And if you've got an account there, it should automatically take you into login. But please do it before Monday, because on Monday, when everybody's entering scores, there's chaos, there's snafus, and it's a pain in the ass.
Just make sure you got your picture ready to upload.
Yeah. And then that's the only thing we ask for. That's the beauty of the Concept 2 rower, is that all you have to do is take a picture of your monitor, and that tells it all. And you don't use artificial intelligence to generate a fake monitor. Jamie and I are becoming quite adept at artificial intelligence, and we can recognize it. But have fun, and it's going to be a good competition. We'll be out on social media sharing the results. A little bit more traditional, but 3 weeks, couple of workouts each week, and the prizes at the end of it. So thanks everyone.
Till next time.
Right on.